Mark Hughes may be a young manager, but he has the cutting edge of desire, hence dropping 3 of his senior players and bringing in a couple from the fringes. Robbie Savage, Brett Everton and Shefty Kuchi all watch from alongside the manager on the bench. Two-guy returns after 2 games out. David Thompson makes his first start of the season, and David Bentley is rewarded for his winning goal against Charlton with a start. Well, David Moyes called Tim Cahill's 3-game suspension a stitch-up, but it means he has to patch up his midfield by making a change. Leon Osman is an able deputy. Everton with the worst scoring record in the Premiership. But for James McFadden again, as James beat his striking partner. Well, Ewood Park may not be a place for the faint-hearted today. 2 teams who may have the sprinkling of foreign talent, but they do apply the British Bulldog spirit when it comes to their way of playing. Last year, it's just 1 goal in the 2 games between the 2 teams. It's never been a high-scoring game, this one. There's only been 17 goals in the last 11 fixtures between the 2, so it may be he who dares today and gets the winner. Here is Craig Bellamy taking on an Everton defence. Pedersen's cross skims across the Everton back line, and a good solid start this from Blackburn. Started like this against Charlton in the league at the beginning of November. Off to an absolute fly with a goal in the first couple of minutes, ended up winning 4-1, one of 3 successive home wins for them. There's Lucas Neal looking for Bellamy, trying to get under the studs of Jose Fiobo, who nervously gives away a corner.
Yeah, but it's good play from Bellamy. He's backing in Fiobo there, forcing the mistake from him for the corner. It's a bright opening from Blackburn Rovers. And I think you have to look at this team that Mark Hughes has put out today with the likes of Bentley, Bellamy, Pedersen in there. 2 guy who gets on the ball in the middle of the park as well. Very attack-minded.
Not much of a run-up for Pedersen. Puts the pressure on Nigel MARTYN.
Well, that's disappointing from Pedersen. Normally excellent from set plays. He whips the ball in the near post or round the back, but he overhits this one. And I just wonder if you were saying about his running up for that ball. It just drops away in that corner. Maybe couldn't control the flight of it properly.
There's McFadden looking for support in midfield, but there is David Thompson playing for a new contract at the end of the season when his current deal expires. Breaking down the right, puts in a good cross, reach, steps over. Oh, that was a lovely move that didn't have the gloss finish from Pedersen.
Well, that's all that was missing, was the gloss finish on his weaker right foot. But lovely build-up play. Thompson down this right-hand side, doesn't give up on it. It's a lovely over from Reid, and Pedersen on his weaker right foot. Really, he's just got to control that into the corner, but tries to hit it with too much power and misses the target.
Bellamy forces the mistake. Pedersen is supporting act. Waits for Pedersen on his favoured left foot. Pedersen clips it in. Oh!
Well, that's fantastic play from Bellamy, and then from Pedersen. I think that's a cross. I don't think he was going for goal there, just overhit it. He's trying to find Bentley at the far post, but it didn't get to him. It hit the post and came out.
What a bright open game this is. Here is James Beattie driving on. Tries to steady himself. Now Thompson. Bentley. To Guy. To Thompson. Ambitious. Overly ambitious.
Yeah, and overhit. They've just got to keep the play going, Blackburn. They've looked so good in the middle of the park. They've got good movement. This was the chance for Pedersen. I think he's trying to clip this into the back post. Gets it a bit wrong. Nigel MARTYN, I don't think he gets anything on that. It just hits the post and comes out before Bentley can get on the end of it. Little chip, overhit, hits the post, and a let off for Everton. But Bellamy did push Pedersen a little bit too wide with the pass. Maybe he could have taken the responsibility himself and came in and had a shot on his right foot, Craig Bellamy. But good play all round for Blackburn Rovers.
Thompson, showing willing. Tugai, lovely ball to Reid. And just behind the strikers at the moment. Lucas Neal. Pedersen's the man at the far post, that's where it's aimed, and Hibbert was uncertain of his bearings. Pedersen. Now Michael Gray. Tugai. Nice touch. Oh, worthy of the shot from Thompson. He who dares sometimes scores. He's got a corner on this occasion.
Yeah, but this is excellent play all round. Again, lovely awareness from Tugai. Thompson hits it first time on that left foot, not at the better of his 2 feet, much stronger on the right side, but it's led to this corner. And at the moment, Blackburn Rovers are rampant. All they need is a goal.
Will it come? Pedersen drives it in. Well, on balance, though, Everton have defended well. Nigel MARTYN hasn't had to dirty his goalkeeping gloves just yet. Phil Neville, better to be safe than sorry.
Well, especially away from home, play the percentages. If you're in doubt, head it out. But at the moment, I think you've got to say that Blackburn are dominating this game. As you said, the final shot or final pass from Blackburn hasn't quite been good enough to test Nigel MARTYN.
Pedersen's corner, fires it right in. MARTYN lost it, and well, doesn't regather it on the penalty spot.
Well, he'd made his mind up early on this one. Rob, I'm going to come for this, and he got under it rather. It's headed up in the air by James Beattie in the end, and that's a foul by Nelson on him, but he got away with it, did old Nige. But he's been in tremendous form this season for Everton once again. And there's the arm right across his face, down his arm. Referee spot on.
Very sharp football. Bentley, hardly been in the game. Gives it to Pedersen. Gray overlaps. There's a queue waiting for the cross, but caught in the queue was Yobo.
Great defending in the post from Yobo, though. Knew where he was. Good build-up play. Look at him, looking at his goalkeeper, looking at the players coming in. Good position, right on that near post. And like all good centre-halves, just hoofs it out and reorganise.
Davis. Stretch for Phil Neville. Bellamy left alone. Little headed down from Van der Meijden. In comes from McFadden! Rode his luck and hit the jackpot.
Well, this is positive play from Everton, but Van der Meijden, who's still down on the floor, makes this. It's a good ball forward. Missed by James Beattie. Great header from Van der Meijden. And there's McFadden. Bounces up. He's brave. Gets his head in there before Michael Gray. Comes across Michael Gray and just heads it in the corner. Brad Friedel's got absolutely no chance there. But that's a brave header there from Van der Meijden. And as it drops, McFadden eyes on the ball. I'm going to get there before you. Determined. Gets his header. And that just rolls past Brad Friedel. Absolutely no chance into the bottom corner, and Van der Meijden's still down injured.
Well, James McFadden has been telling the manager ever since he arrived that he's a striker, and since he's arrived, the manager's told him he has to be braver. Well, the combination of the two then, bravery and finishing.
Well, it's brave from him and brave from that man as well. Van der Meijden stuck his head in there. He's got his team the rewards, and McFadden the goal because of it.
Everton's 6th goal of the season. James McFadden off the mark. There's a shock to the system. Blackburn with 2/3 of the possession, playing the ball around, really making any great strides. Everton with a rare attack, taking the only real opportunity of the game so far. Here is the creator of that goal, Van der Meijden.
That's what happens when you're so much on top. Well, when you don't get that goal, and suddenly the confidence goes a little bit, and it gives the confidence to the other team, and that's what's happened here. Blackburn started so brightly, didn't get the goal with all the possession they had, all the play, and then Everton have gradually gained in confidence and belief.
Well, here is Beattie, steals the ball. Oh, that was handball. That was handball. The referee didn't see it and went for the assistance of his official. Now he has to decide whether it was intentional or not.
Well, I think Andy Todd's in big trouble here. Well, he's last man, and he could be off here.
Well, it's in the hands of the referee's assistant, Mark Warren, on the far side. He used his hand, Beattie was through, and it's a tough call for Mark Halsey.
Well, I think you've got to say it's a clear goal-scoring opportunity here. I think it'll be a red card.
Inevitable, according to the letter of the law. Tough on Todd and tough on Blackburn.
But those are the rules of the game, we all know it. James Beattie won the ball, he's flicked it away, and Andy Todd has come across, it's hit his arm, and it's a clear goal-scoring opportunity for James Beattie, and the referee has no alternative but to send him off.
And Mark Halsey almost apologetic to the Blackburn Rovers players. He sought advice from Mark Warren, the man with the flag on the far side, and once he said that it was handball and Beattie was through, and according to the scriptures, Todd had to walk the plank.
Well, if the assistant gives it, Rob, the referee's got no alternative but to send him off, and that's what's happened to Andy Todd.
Our fellow professionals will feel for him. Mark Hughes bottles up his, I suppose you would say, anger and disappointment. Craig Bellamy, unfortunately, takes the protest a touch too far and gets his name in the book as well. The fact is that it's 10 against 11.
And they're 1-0 down as well, Rob.
And without the captain.
And he's played extremely well. Andy Todd, they're going to have to rearrange the back line now. Not only have they conceded a goal, they've now had their captain sent off, and they've got to really dig deep and make sure they don't concede anything from this free kick.
A ring of boos around Ewood Park. Free kick as a result of the red. Taken by Arteta! The Everton fans thought it was in.
Well, it looked like it was in from here as well. Brad Friedel went to his right, the ball went to his left, and that's just inches away from putting Everton 2-0 up.
It was a scrape of paint away, wasn't it? That really would have been a dagger to the heart of Blackburn Rovers. Arteta. There's Beattie. To go. Reed. It means a reshuffle for Blackburn. It appears that they've decided to stick with the back four and brought Reed to right back, taken Lucas Neal inside to centre back, and play a man short in midfield. Thompson. Right on the touchline, shot it well, puts in a good cross, and skimmed the ball goodly, handled exceptionally well by Nigel MARTYN.
Well, good play from David Thompson, just that final ball again, letting him down. He's tried to whip that in with pace across the 6-yard box, and it's just come off the outside of his boot, and Nigel MARTYN was alert to it.
There's Phil Neville. Shoulder of Beattie. Reed finding himself in an awkward defensive position the remainder of the game as part of the reshuffle.
There's a difficult bouncing ball, and it's not defensively minded Stephen Reed. It's asking a lot of him at the moment, but just more and more pressure building on Blackburn.
Well, Blackburn do have Shamishvili on the bench. So what's going through the mind of Marquis to bring on an extra defensive player. Arteta, great free kick. Oh! He was right in the right place. Unfortunately, David Weir is not a natural scorer of goals.
Whipped in there with plenty of pace, takes everybody out. David Weir coming around the back, but he's too far wide of the goals to get it back across. He's really stretching for it. He threw himself at it. But Everton really, now with that goal in front and against 10 men, really are taking the game to Blackburn.
Bellamy, only player to be booked in the first half.
Very hard for Blackburn to break down this resolute Everton team. They're so well drilled under David Moyes. They don't give many goals away, and when the opportunities come your way, you've got to take them. But James Beattie's working so hard up there for Everton, and when they're under pressure, they can just hit it long, and he will chase everything and put his body in the way and put the Blackburn defenders under pressure.
Up he goes. Needs one more goal, of course, to become joint top scorer. Beattie's top scorer with 2 goals at the moment. So sparse has been the strikers' season for the Merseyside. Here's Leon Osman. Hasn't scored in 10 months. Neville, McFadden. He's looking bright and breezy. Weir. Pass it back was the cry from the bench, but Weir ignores that. Holding possession. Lucas Neal. 2-guy. Remember, Blackburn Rovers were behind in the League Cup in midweek, 2 goals down against Charlton. But they did have the full complement.
It just shows that they've got the desire and the belief here at Blackburn. But when you're playing at home with 10 men against a team like Everton, and you're 1-0 down, it's very hard to get back into these type of games.
Bentley, Yobo, he's had a top-class game. He's won everything.
So he should for his size, though, when you're up against Bellamy. You know, there's got to be better delivery into the front men. It's got to be into their feet most of the time, or into their chest, because if it's anything higher than that, Yobo's and Weir are going to lap it up all afternoon.
There's Michael Gray. Just a couple of minutes remaining in a tight, tense first half. Pretty much as we expected. A lot of hustle, a lot of bustle. The goal coming from tenacity, or a cocktail of tenacity, and a defensive mistake. Yobo has made no mistake, transfers the pressure onto Ryan Neal. What a great header, Beattie. Fights his own battle. Now McFadden. He's going to have to go solo. He has no support, but he's got the skills. Plays it back. Arteta! Oh! He gets the goal, but it was down to the work of his teammate.
Yeah, it was fantastic play. Long ball forward, again under pressure. James Beattie. And it's Osman in there, picks it over the defender's head, draws to the next defender, then has the awareness just to lay this back for Arteta. And Arteta is in his stride, doesn't have to hold his stride at all. Lovely setup, and he just comes on with that famous right foot of his and passes that in the back of the net. And Brad Friedel, absolutely no chance. And that's Everton 2-0 up. And this is an excellent all-round goal from Everton's point of view.
Off the mark in the Premiership this season, Mikel Arteta. David Moyes is asking Luis Aragon as the Spanish national team coach to come and have a look. Now, this is where Beattie was throwing his weight around. He got there ahead of 2-guy, and that was very heavily, and the referee chose to play on.
Yeah, and I think he got it spot on, the referee. Let the play go and Everton get the rewards, because it had been a free kick to them. But you have to say that James Beattie is having a good afternoon, putting himself around, and other players around him are getting the goals.
2-0 Everton. A lot of turn up for their travelling support. First time this season they've scored 2 goals in a game. Pedersen. There's been having some rip-roaring team talk from Mark Hughes' side. So we were in the comfort zone, but they were dictating what happened in the game until Todd was given his orders.
2 minutes of time added on, that's a minimum of 2 minutes.
There'll be 2 minutes of time added on by the officials.
I think what you say, Rob, I think Mark Hughes will be very disappointed because his team started so brightly, didn't score, and then put themselves under a little bit of pressure.
Osman, creator of that second goal. It's under play.
And then Everton got in front and Blackburn had no answer to that. They get the captain sent off, and now just on half-time they go 2-0 down, and really it's asking a lot of the manager to change things around when you've got 10 men and get back into a game when you're 2-0 down.
Thompson, caught in possession by Davis. Just about as sense as apology, should I say.
Yeah, just about. It comes across. Thompson goes to the floor. Simon Davis apologises, but Tomo's not happy about that. He just gets up and walks away. Mark Polsey just gives him a little lecture and the game goes on.
Great. Bellamy. Goes for something special. Patted out by Nigel MARTYN. His most difficult moment in the game, really.
Yeah, but it's positive play from Bellamy again. Things open up. He takes on the shot. It's a good strike, but Nigel MARTYN stands up, pushes it down and collects it on the second attempt.
Osman playing more of a striking role. Beattie breathing very heavily down the neck of Lucas Neal and had to be skipped away by Bradford and had no option. It's time beyond the stoppage time now. Osman. It's quite a bite for one so slight.
Very nice.
Pantomime season, isn't it? Everton fans making their voices heard as the home supporters rather stunned by the course of events at Ewood Park. The turning point, the red card to Andy Todd once the referee's assistant had spotted the handball. They decided it was a goal-scoring opportunity. Todd was off. Everton then come on strong to score their second goal from Mikel Arteta. Fallon getting the first. Blackburn continue to protest, but the fact is, at Ewood Park, it's Blackburn 0, Everton 2. Welcome back to Ewood Park. A couple of changes at half-time. One possibly anticipated, one not expected at all. Richard Wright is thrown in as Nigel MARTYN picked up a bit of a strain in the latter stages of the first half. Richard Wright didn't have the best of luck last year. The last 2 games he's played, he's conceded 10 goals for Everton. Blackburn have made a change as well. Tactical. David Thompson has been sacrificed, and they brought on the extra defender in Zurab Kizanishvili. News on Nigel MARTYN is that his injury is a groin strain. Two founder members of the Football League. This is Everton's record-setting 4,000th game in top-flight football. It's a happy 4,000th anniversary so far for them.
Very happy indeed. 2-0 up. The first time they've scored 2 goals in one match this season, in the Premiership anyway. And they're very hard to break down, as we've all said. Very well marshalled at the back, and it's going to be a hard second half for Blackburn Rovers to get anything out of this game.
The other stat, of course, is that Everton have had 3 clean sheets in the last 4 games. Those who bet on Blackburn will also tell you that they've lost every league game and the opponents have scored first, and that dates back to April of 2003. So Blackburn at the start of the second half appear to be playing with 3 at the back. Maybe Mark Hughes takes a gamble. There's Nelson to Reid. Did look uncomfortable, and he has to play as an emergency defender. Neil back on the right. Gray. To Guy. Bentley. Patterson. No change out of Hibbert so far today. Gray teases one in. The backup keeper Richard Wright leaves it to his defenders. Here they go again, Blackburn. That's a great cross. Oh! Completely unmarked. Patterson appeared to close his eyes.
Well, he's got to do better, Rob. The managers make changes at half-time. It seems to work for them. Lovely ball in from Neil. Patterson all round the back, unmarked, and he misses the target. And Richard Wright is pleased to see that go past his right-hand post without having to make a save. He heads it down as Pedersen, but he must hit the target and score and get Blackburn Rovers back in this game.
They've come out fighting, as one would expect of a Mark Hughes team. There's Reid. Neil. That'll be a first touch for Wright. First appearance of the season.
Well, that's a nice easy touch for him. His first touch should have been getting out of the back of the net. Pedersen, with that chance there, really should have scored, as he should have scored early on when it was 0-0 on his right foot at the other end.
Oh, it's a terrible back pass. Now Beattie can't be offside here. Hence the scramble clearance from Ryan Nelson. He's enjoying his return to the area of his roots. And Lemena. Through the legs of Gray, won't like that. Hauls it in. What a convincing clearance. Worth a shot, and Friedel had to hang on to it with Osman waiting for the bits and pieces that may have been spilled.
Well, he did have to hold on to it, and it's poor defending at the back stick by Lucas Neal. In that position, he's got to head it out for a corner, not head it back into play and give Everton the opportunity to get a shot at goal. That's what he did. He could have found his team 3-0 down.
Bellamy. Blackburn are going to haul themselves back into the game. It may come from a set piece. Wright comes, and not exactly full of confidence, but he makes the save. And saved his face.
Well, he did save his face, as you said. Wasn't convincing for the first one. Really should have come and punched it. Should have punched that. He tries to catch it. Gets it all wrong.
Osman. Feature of Mark Holtz's refereeing has been the fact that he just delays the whistle a few seconds to see if things develop. He gives Everton the free kick. Now they begin to motor. Fallon playing to the crowd. Philip Neville. Referee signals that wasn't handball. Bentley, little teaser. Bellamy away. What speed over 10 yards. And he shoots from, well, what was an impossible angle. Well, great willing from the Welsh international striker.
Yeah, but lovely build-up play. But weird as well, pushes him wide. It's very difficult for Craig Bellamy to get any power in that. He's so wide, hitting it back across the goalkeeper, and it's a comfortable save for Richard Wright. But Craig Bellamy had no other option but to take the shot on.
Weir mops up for him. Blackburn come back, willed on by vociferous support. Reid was fouled. Arteta clearly doesn't agree.
Well, there's no need for Arteta to make the challenge there and give the free kick away, because he's holding Reid up, he's pushed him back. There he is, Reid's going away. Arteta just gives him a little chug there, I think, Rob. That's why the free kick was given. No need to dive in like that. And then there's a little coming together there, Reid and Arteta. Handbag stuff. But the referee deems that to be a yellow card.
Well, I think it was maybe Arteta's reaction, the fact that he faced up to Reid, that got him into trouble. Tarjeta amarilla. Yellow card.
Very nice, Rob. Is that what they say in Lancashire? This gives Tugay a chance to put a quality ball in. We know he's got quality, but can somebody take one of these chances that Blackburn are creating?
Away by Weir. Significance of that yellow card is that Mikel Arteta is now on 5 and will serve a suspension. Well, there's a clash of heads there. The referee brings play to a halt as Pedersen went barging into Yobo.
Well, Yobo gets up so well. Look how high he gets up. Pedersen just comes across him late, leading with his arm, and it's a definite free kick. Mark Holsey spot on there again. But a little bit of frustration from Pedersen, because he knows he should have really got his side back into this game in the first minute of the second half with that header.
Osman. Dances past one, through the legs as well, which will have hurt Tugay, but McFadden didn't make any great distance with that.
Yeah, but it's good play from McFadden in one way, but really the players are lining up in the 18-yard box. There's 4 of them in the box, and really he shouldn't put the delivery into the box rather than getting nutmegs on people. I know his team are 2-0 up, but there's still a lot of work to be done in this game.
Nishvili lets the ball go, gives it to Gray, a little room to work in. Nelson, Gray. Midfield didn't give a sniff of either of the Everton goals. A wonderful movement from Arteta. He came off worse. Referee right on top of it says he wasn't fouled. Peter's still down, nose to top. I think more winded than anything else. Gray. Good drive this from 10-man Blackburn. Teasing the ball in Yobo. He's been certain with everything. Well, some turnaround against Charlton. Can they do it again as it comes across, and intense concentration on the keeper, thrown in to the cold of Eagwood Park this afternoon.
Well, it's a good save because it comes through so many players. It's whipped in by Bentley. Reid trying to get on the end of it. If he got the slightest of touches, it would have probably gone past Richard Wright, or Yobo for that matter. But no touch on it, and Richard Wright watched it all the way, and that's a good save.
Davis, great ball. Beat his onside, right across Ryan Nelson, and the former Blackburn Rovers apprentice hoofs the ball into the fans who support him these days, the Everton supporters behind Brad Friedel's goal.
Yeah, but it's a good run from him, James Beattie, across the line. He stays on side. It's a lovely pass from Simon Davis, but the finish was poor.
Everton, Andy van der Meijden to be replaced by number 9, Duncan Ferguson.
Andy van der Meijden has run himself into the ground, still trying to find full fitness. But made an impressive contribution in the first half, leading to one of the goals, and the last man you want to see coming on when your defender is raw-boned Duncan Ferguson.
Well, again, it's a positive move from David Moyes. They're 2-0 up, and he's gone with 2 strikers, Beattie and Ferguson up there, and you know what you're going to get with big Duncan. You get it into his feet, he's got a good touch, but if you put it in the air, he's so commanding in the air from set plays. The 2 centre-backs now, Kishkashvili and Ryan Nelson, I know they're in for a match.
Nelson. Pedersen. Gray. Alfredo's going to have to come quite a long way out and literally uses his head. Tugay. Kishnishvili. Tease of a Bellamy. Great first touch from Bellamy. It's a good cross coming in from the wing. Is Michael Gray. Hibber knew what was behind him. Took the sensible option.
Yeah, good pressure again from Blackburn Rovers. Gray coming in round the back from the cross from the opposite number, the right back, but Hibbert flicks it away.
Tugay. When they work, they're award-winning, those set-piece situations.
Great delivery from Pedersen. Tugay hits this well, but leaning back on it a little bit, can't keep it down, but that's not far away.
Freedom. Yobo. Ferguson still can't get there. Davis. Precise pass to the substitute Kilbane. Kilbane teases it up on the head of Beta. There's a call from McFadden to leave it. That he does. Now to Osman. Little chip in. Ferguson.
Well, that's great build-up play from Everton and a very important header at the end there. To take it off Duncan Ferguson's head, otherwise that would have been nestling in the back of the net.
Now McFadden, it's a good ball. It's not a bad time for Everton when their right back is offside.
Well, he's made the run from deep, but Blackburn defence have pushed up, played Beattie and Ferguson
Well, it's a little bit
offside.
of set-to down here, Nigel, between Hibbert and Pedersen. Hardly two of the game's hard men, but a little fallout. Wisely broken up by the referee's assistant.
I think that's just frustration. Hibbert running away with the ball, trying to waste time. Pedersen didn't like it, tried to pull it off him. And then they go chest to chest. And the referee has a word with them to calm down. We don't want anybody else sent off in this match. Let's get on and enjoy the football.
There's Weir. Lucas Neal. It's a poor cross. Bellamy still chases that. Wright comes, misses his punch again. And Weir hoofs it away to safety.
Well, they're still giving it their best shot, aren't they, Blackburn? But they need a goal desperately now. Try and put the pressure right on Everton.
Bentley, great ball through. There is Kucci. Great tackle by Yobo, and an adventurous shot in the circumstances.
Well, Kuchi's frustrated there. It's a lovely ball played through. He goes for it. Yobo comes across, but look, Pedersen could just put this back into the 6-yard box. Kuchi's there. He's got a chance. When Pedersen takes the shot in from this angle, there's no way of beating Richard Wright from there. He's leaning back on his right foot. He's come out and he's put it well wide.
A rather disappointing attendance today of 22,064.
They're all out doing their Christmas shopping.
David Moyes may hope to join them when the winter transfer window reopens. Searching for a striker, but he's got two new names on the score sheet in the Premiership for this season anyway, and Arteta and McFadden.
I think he'd be pleased with the way his team's gone about this today. They took a lot of pressure early on, didn't concede, they defended very well. And then it got in front. OK, Blackburn had a man sent off, and then Everton scored again just before half-time. But other than that, they played extremely well. I think they've got the bit between the teeth and the Premiership back between their teeth now, having the disappointment early on in the season, Rob, of getting knocked out of the Champions League.
Well, the Champions League out of the UEFA Cup. A short space of time, but back in business in the Premier League. Pedersen takes a deflection, and Wright had to just stay away from it and watch it roll out of play. The goalkeeper clearly thought that he was going for a goal kick, but it came off his own defender.
It came off James Beattie there. Took a wild swing at it. It's come off his thigh.
Pedersen again. Wright, good catch.
That is a good catch. He's been put under a lot of pressure this time. Comes for it and gathers it.
Well, hasn't had a good run for a few seasons now, but since Nigel MARTYN arrived virtually. Played 7 games last year, conceded 20 goals. Always seemed to be thrown in at the wrong time. Hanging on for the clean sheet though. 18 minutes remain. Beattie, nice touch. Osman. Davis. Now Hibbert. McFadden. Happy to play on the left wing. Into Osman. This roaming role, asking a lot of Hibbert, but he is offside.
We're good to see Tony Hibbert getting forward and trying to get in behind. That's a very tight one, that. I know it's right in front of the assistant, but it's a very tight run. I'm not so sure he was offside.
Yobo. Well, he was a little heavy-handed in the opinion of Mark Halsey. His eyes were fixed on the ball, and he used Bellamy as a bridge to get to it.
I think that's a correct decision. It's a free kick. Yobo has won the header, but he's come right through as he's won the header and put Bellamy to the floor, and this is an opportunity now, and I think this will be Pedersen with his left foot. It's a better angle for the left footer to test Richard Wright. And oh, what would Blackburn give for a goal here? In this remaining 8 minutes or so, if they get a goal now, could be backs to the wall for Everton.
Blackburn in desperate need of an injection of inspiration. It is Pedersen. Catch those all day. It's like a warm-up free kick, wasn't it?
There was no real conviction in it, no real pace in it. It's got it over the wall, but Richard Wright watched it all the way, and that's a comfortable save in his midriff.
That was late. Now Kelsey has tried his very best not to take any names today. Maybe the one tough decision was inevitable when he had to send Andy Tunnell. It'll be interesting to hear Mark Hughes' interpretation of that situation. Oh, Weir seemed to be leading with arm then as it came down to Gray. Goal kick.
Well, as we said at the incident, if the assistant gives it handball, unfortunately Andy Todd is the last man, and the referee has no other option but to send him off. It's a clear goal-scoring opportunity for James Beattie. And that's why the assistants want to be called assistants and not linesmen these days. They want to assist the referee. But I'm sure Mark Hughes might have a lot to say about that after this game.
Kishnashvili. There's Weir. Not wanting to try anything too clever. Slippery conditions. It's been a little bit of a light drizzle in these northern parts. Yobo. Well, he's been a 10 out of 10 performer today. Beattie. Osman. Great run this from Osman. Beattie ahead of him, draws defenders, wills them to foul him. Gives it to McFadden. And Gray did enough.
Yeah, but it's a good opportunity gone to waste. James McFadden, he wanted the ball played quicker to him from Osman. Osman delayed it. Bad first touch, but he's got his side a corner.
Less than 5 to go. Fadden's corner kick. Away is the cry. Phil Neville. Ferguson appeared to be offside, but the flag stayed down. McFadden. Was it a shot? Was it a cross? Neither, really.
Well, it's just a poor cross, really. Duncan Ferguson had pulled away back stick. Really, James McFadden's got plenty of time and space just to put the lovely ball into the back post, and he whips it in with too much pace straight to the goalkeeper.
Well, some of the Blackburn fans voting with their feet. They can't see a major comeback for the second time in a week. A win that takes Everton to within 2 points of Blackburn Rovers. Where's the crime? It's been a much improved month for Everton. Defensively, they've been really dogged, got things together. More like the side of last season.
Yeah, I think you can see that today. Their confidence is coming back. They weathered that storm from Blackburn early on, and then they started to come into the game, get more confidence, and they've got their rewards. The sending-offs helped them as well, but they're in a vein of form at the moment. But Blackburn are in a good vein of form as well coming into this game, especially at home.
There's Everton. Not easy to be thrown in when your team are 2 down and a man down. Reid to Emerton. Worth a shot. Handling of Wright is safe and sound, though his kicking left a bit to be desired. Now Osman come back into the team today, and he's shown great heart, great desire. Set up a goal. Hibbert was late. Mike Halsey keeping his card average down by not giving a free kick that he's going to throw. Tough one for Wright, comes down from the floodlights. I'm sure he wishes Nigel MARTYN the best, but being a professional deep down, hoping that the old man has a rest for a few weeks.
Well, the thing is, at any football club, especially in the Premiership, you need 2 or 3 top-quality goalkeepers. Nigel MARTYN's been playing extremely well. That's why Richard Wright hasn't had a run in the team. But with all the games coming up over Christmas, New Year, you need all your players to be available.
There's Davis. Great run this from Davis. He's beaten 1, he's beaten 2. The angle is a long way out. Before to take his time. Or maybe the fact that they were 2-0 up meant that he didn't go direct for goal and he could just look at the options.
Well, it's a great run through the middle, but this touch lets him down. It takes him away from the goal, away from Brad Friedel, and then he should have just laid it there for Duncan Ferguson to have a shot. But he's won his team a throw it in the far corner, and they won't be unhappy about that as we come into the final minute.
Kilback. Corner kick. Everton started the game, rocking back on their heels, absorbing everything that Blackburn threw at them. Typical away day performance. The game was turned by Todd sending off, and since then it's Everton who've been dictating the pace, really.
Yeah, this take nothing away from Everton. They played extremely well, and another good professional performance away from home, and David Moyes and Alan Irvine will be extremely pleased with the way they played today.
Kilban. Drawing the wrath of a Pedersen. Neil unhappy down there, but I'm sure they've been doing the same thing in the same situation.
They're just sucking players in to make them fail you and get free kicks and kill the game.
There is Kilban. Almost pulling his shirt off him there, but the referee's giving it the other way. Neil in a real hurry to take it, which is good desire. They've not gone into hiding despite obviously been defeated today, Blackburn Rovers. Mark Hughes can look into his players' eyes when the final whistle goes and can be reasonably proud of the effort and the endeavour that they've shown in their heart and the never give up attitude.
That's a minimum of 2 minutes.
Will be 2 minutes of time added on by the officials. Beattie goes for goal though. Friedel sure-handed, still hasn't given up the chase. It's a mighty kick from the American. Cucci. Everton with it. Davies does well. He's had a great game in midfield today. Simon Davies shown more of his defensive side than his offensive side.
Yeah, but he's done a job for the team, hasn't he? He's worked extremely hard in there, breaking up things, getting his foot in like that. Doing the job for the team.
There's Ferguson to kill that.
The Blackburn Rovers man of the match, sponsored by Peter Jackson. The
referee
is Ryan
takes
Nelson.
Blackburn Rovers out of their agony. They can't make it 4 wins in a row. Everton, for the first time this season, score 2 goals in a game. When the chances came their way, they took them. Lead given by McFadden. A few minutes later, Andy Todd was sent off. A handball, last man. When the referee conferred with his assistant, it was inevitable. And then Everton took control. Mikel Arteta scoring his second. Blackburn still clearly unhappy. But Mark Holt is sticking to the letter of the law. Convincing win for Everton in the end at Ewood Park, where it's Blackburn Rovers 0, Everton 2.
Obviously there's always controversy in the games, and there was a sending off today, but we were 1-0 up at the time, and we don't know if that would have made a difference with them going down to 10 men or not.
You got your striker's role that you've been asking for a long time. The manager's maybe asked for a bit more bravery. You gave him bravery for the goal, and you gave him a goal as well, didn't you? Yeah,
it was. I've been saying for a while now that I want a chance up front, and the manager's given it to me, and I've got a goal. But ironically, I got moved to the left midfield at the time that I scored the goal. So hopefully I can continue to be on the side and playing up front.
Well, David, congratulations. It was maybe a game that turned on one decision. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I think it helped us. Obviously didn't help Blackburn. You know, at the time I thought he handballed it, but I couldn't be sure whether it was deliberate or was it stopping a goal scoring opportunity. But I think the referee and the linesman got together and felt that it was. So no, fortunate for us, unfortunate for Blackburn. But I think we were a goal up when the sending off happened, but that helped it.
You kind of tamed the course of things because you were able to maybe come out of your defensive shell and not have to absorb as much.
Well, after the way the game started, you know, Blackburn were terrific for 20 minutes. You know, we couldn't get the ball off them. They get in behind us. We actually had to change a little bit. And even when they went down to 10 men, I still found Blackburn were a threat. I saw them playing midweek against Charlton. I thought they were excellent. And no, I didn't change my view today. Their passing's improved, no end here at Blackburn, and they're doing very well.
The fact that you scored 2 goals for the first time in a game this season, does it indicate now that maybe the corner has been turned?
Well, I hope so, but you know, it's nice when you get 2, but I still felt uneasy with 2. I'd have liked to have got a third one and then, you know, sort of put it to bed if we could do. But as I said, Blackburn, you know, kept playing, trying to get a goal, and they kept us under pressure.
2-0 down at half-time, it's very difficult to come back, but I have to say, credit to the players in the second half. I thought we stuck at it, and don't think Everton had a shot in anger at our goal in the second half, and with an extra man, I think that shows great credit to us. But we've had 2 situations like this where an early sending off has hurt us, and Mr. Halsey was involved with both games, so he's not the most popular guy around these parts at the moment.
Mark Halsey, to be fair, was unsure about whether it was handball or not, and did confer with his assistant. It did clearly hit the hand of Andy Todd, didn't it? Yeah, well, we're not disputing that, but whether or not there was any intent, which we felt there wasn't, we thought the contact was minimal as well. And as the ball went through, James Beattie just flicked it up, and Andy had to readjust his position to get in line with the flight of the ball, and it struck a part of his arm. We concede that, but never felt it was with any intent. For the guy to be sent off for that, I think it's laughable. But down to 10 men, and then it becomes very, very difficult. And fair play to the players. I can't give them as much credit as I can for the second half display, because we stuck at it and really had to go. But I think our efforts at Arsenal last weekend and Charlton in midweek just took a little bit too much out of us, and obviously with one less man it was always going to be had.
So Everton beat Blackburn by 2 goals to 0 at Ewood Park.